So two very important screens for anyone who is managing the cycle counts, the Smart Count dashboard and the Smart Count review. To get there, I'm going to go to Transactions, Smart Count, Count Review, and Dashboard. Keep in mind, right, this may look a little different depending on the roles and permissions that you have. When I'm on my dashboard, I can see just general information on the smart counts that are going on. So I can see I have an item count pending approval. There's 7 items that are supposed to be counted today, and there's 0 in the last 30 days. So we're doing good. I don't have any approved yet. I have one that's pending, so I need to approve it, reject it, or recount it. I can also see that up here that, I have 7 that are due, 0 that are delayed, and 0 quantity changes. Average count variance by user, I can see in this case, only one person has done a Smart Count Suite app cycle count. And I can see the difference was about 75%. And I can also see that they were over tolerance as well. So I get a couple interesting graphs. And then if I scroll down, I can see a little more information based on the count variance by locations if I wanted to do that. So the next thing that we're going to do is go to our count review page. Because I can see that I have some pending approval, the count review is where I'm going to approve, reject, or recount, which we can see these buttons up here. The first thing that we need to pay attention to is this box right here. These are all of our filters. So if we wanted to filter out the counts that we need to approve or reject or just look at, we can click the location as well as count status, variance. I can even filter this by the person that counted it. I'm going to collapse this for now. Once I filter by Chicago location, I can see some KPIs. So I have one unapproved count. Because I only have one account, some of these KPIs don't really tell us that much, but they will once we have a healthy amount of data in there. So I'm going to close that as well. What I can see now is my actual report, which is the information that I really care about. So I can see for this one bin and this item, that nothing changed during the count. No one was picking or putting away inventory to this bin. I can see the actual count was 700, and there's an upwards variance quantity of about 700, which comes to about $297. So if I go to count status, I can see that there was a tolerance error. I didn't have any tolerances set up, and I can see specific lot numbers, what the expected count was versus what the actual count was. So they actually counted the right amount for this lot number. I can see for this lot number, we were about 300 over. And then this lot number, we were about 125 over, which is where we get our actual count of 700. But we were only really supposed to count what NetSuite was, what NetSuite was telling us is we only had about 300 in there. So I can do a couple things, right? If this number is way too high, and I think maybe someone accidentally made a mistake, or maybe they got lazy when they were counting or tired, I can enter a comment here and I can approve, reject, or recount. So maybe I want to, let them know that, hey, if you could, can you please recount this bin? I can either reject it or I can just send it back to recount. So it goes back in the queue for somebody to recount it from there. So I can click my recount button. The other thing I can do is if I'm selecting a lot of these, I can also mass recount, reject, or approve. So I'm going to send it back for a recount. I can also additionally select a particular person, say, hey, you were the person who originally counted it. Can you please recount it? Or I can just say, leave it for anyone to take to recount this inventory. And I will enter a comment. At this point, I've cleared out all of my pending approval, rejection, or recount cycle count records, and I can go ahead and monitor my dashboard to see when I have more that are pending.